Hi, I'm John Hassan, Executive Editor at American Business Media. I'm here at the Great New England Credit Union Show in Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm here with Nathaniel Gravel, who's the Vice President at Gravoc. And you were telling me just before we came on that your parents started the company in 1994.
Correct, yep.
And what was their idea, what was their business plan in 1994? What were they thinking, what market need were they going to fill?
Truthfully, it was a very simple need. They were out to solve business problems. My father was a CFO of a publicly traded company at the time. They were sold to GE Capital, and he had the choice between moving the entire family to Atlanta and later finding out, my mom said if he did that, they would basically be separated, or going out
how it goes.
Going out on his own. So he chose the latter, thankfully, and here we are 25 years later. So,
wow. Do you have siblings that are also with the company?
I do, yeah. So my brother is the vice president of our creative technology practice, and I have two younger siblings that have been involved in different capacities, but have chosen different paths career-wise. So.
That's really good. And is your mom involved with the day-to-day?
She is. She's the executive vice president of the company.
Oh, that's
so.
fantastic.
Yep.
And you're in Peabody.
We are.
Not in Peabody.
Not Peabody.
We're in Peabody.
Peabody's, Peabodyites will tell you that it's Peabody, and that's that. So
I went to Bates College up in Maine. There were a lot of people from Eastern Massachusetts, and yeah, I heard Peabody a lot. Peabody.
Yeah,
they were going.
I went to Trinity College, so we were at Bates quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was on the cross country and track and field teams.
I played lacrosse.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. So you get the NESCAC thing going on.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things your company says on your literature, one company, many solutions. How does that sum up Gravoc in your mind?
Yeah, so we're a technology consulting firm, but we've never really picked one vertical within that sphere. So we're organized into 4 different practices. So I head up 2 of those, information security and information technology. Like I said, my brother heads up our creative technology, and then we have a software solutions practice as well. So,
what's the creative technology? What is that?
Creative technology is digital media and web design, for the most part.
So you'll consult with credit unions and banks on how they should be using social media?
Yep, absolutely.
So that's interesting, because a lot of the companies that in your space just really handle the software and the technology and the hardware and the how do you do it better, what's the latest thing, whereas you're taking it one step further.
Yeah, so our goal is to really be kind of a 360 solution for a smaller mid-sized business. So rather than when they have a technology project having to bring in several vendors, they can work with the expertise on each of our practices to basically get the project done without having to reach outside.
So companies engage you and they've outsourced IT to you. Is that pretty much how it works?
Yes, a lot of times. Yeah. So
will you have a body in their offices, or is it all on the phone and the internet?
It depends on their preference, truthfully.
On what they need. Right.
Yep. I mean, some people like us to be there on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, just to kind of have hands on the equipment. Others are perfectly fine with doing remote email, telephone support.
Right.
So,
do you also consult with your clients on what they should buy, when they should upgrade?
Yep, we do procurement and technology planning, strategic planning, stuff like that.
That's interesting. What are some of the biggest security problems that credit unions face? What are the things they really need to stay on top of?
I think it's just the persistent threat of cyber attacks. I mean, they're on the rise, obviously. Most of that is coming through, this from a social engineering perspective. Right. Attacks against the employees that then, if they let their guard down, let them through the network perimeter and getting onto the network. So that's one of the main threats that we try to manage for them is the security awareness piece of things. Right. Doing testing and training and being constant with that message. But then it's just, doing kind of a layered security approach. Right. A lot of times, people think of security as just kind of the perimeter, keeping the bad guys out. We've learned that it's incredibly hard to do that, so you have to have the other layers in place to detect when something's happened and then respond to it in a timely and efficient manner, and one that, ultimately would save money and everything else. So. So that's kind of our approach.
Do you find that credit unions, which tend to be, and you said you work with smaller and mid-sized companies, do they tend to be, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but a little bewildered and overwhelmed by it, and you sort of simplify it and make it easier for them?
Yeah, I think it's very tough to have all the right expertise on staff, being a smaller mid-sized company, truthfully. quite frankly, security doesn't make anybody money.
Right.
So you're not gonna.
Money.
Yeah, it could cost you a lot of money. Yeah. So a lot of times it's a natural progression to outsource some of that, and that's kind of where we come in.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Nathaniel. I
Yes.
appreciate you coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.